welcome, and thanks for tuning into Milk and Honey Talk Radio. I am your host, Tashika Benson, with Michael Kennedy, Nifisha Miller. She is here. She's trying to, she's slowly making her way here, so she'll be here with us shortly. And Mrs. Tasha Collins. We're so happy to be back here. This is our third episode of Milk and Honey. And we are so excited to be here on Intellectual Radio.
Yeah.
So I think this is being our third show. We've had a great 2 shows thus far. And I'm going to give a little insight on milk and honey before we get started.
Yes, what is milk and honey?
Okay, milk and honey. I'm glad you asked. When God spoke to Moses at the burning bush, he informed them that he would redeem the Israelites and bring them to a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey. And I generally accept and receive definition of milk and honey as a metaphor meaning all good things. Good conversation, good camaraderie, good friendship, good and positive conversation.
So it has nothing to do with you being light and me being dark.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Nothing to do with Mike being dark and me being light. So this is our third episode, and before I go any further, like I often say, you can always inbox me on Facebook at Tashika L. Benson. That's TASHIKAL Benson. B as in boy, ENSON, or Tashika second page Benson.
Second page. Oh, girl.
Oh, don't do that. It's just anyway. So you can inbox me on either page, give us your feedback, or if there are some comments that you would like to express about our letter or about our topic. Now, like I said, Mike Kennedy, we have him here today.
Yes, and you can find me on Mike Kennedy Facebook on my first, second, third, fourth, and fifth page. No, I only have one page anyway, but it sounded good anyway. And you can find me on Instagram, Periscope, Black Planet. I don't remember what that was though. I don't remember my name.
Planet.
But anyway, you can check me out and hit me up with those questions. Tell me what you think. Give me your opinions, and that's what we're here to do. And contrary to popular belief, I am the honey of the group.
Okay. And we have my sister from another mister, Tasha Collins. Hey. Tasha, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm your sister.
You are my sister.
And it's my brother from another mother as well. I don't know much. I'm just glad to be here. I'm glad to talk about what you're about to talk about.
Well, let's dive right into it. We ain't gonna waste no time, okay? Because this is gonna be, I think, one of the hottest topics that we've done thus far. We've had 3 great topics, and I think this is gonna kind of outweigh what we've done thus far. But before we go further, I always start with my Dear Sister T letter. In this letter, you are asked to inbox me if you're looking for advice or somebody's opinion, or you want to know, did you do the right thing? What do I think? You can inbox me. Like I said, I would read it aloud. If you want to be anonymous, then I will make sure to keep you anonymous. But I'm going to read this first letter. This letter is from someone that said they would like to remain anonymous. She says, Dear Sister T, I am 46 years old, about to celebrate 20 years of marriage. I'm miserably unhappy. I've never truly loved my husband the way I should, and I've remained married because I'm supposed to. He is a wonderful father and husband. He has a great job. We get along just fine, and we are good friends. But there's absolutely no passion in our relationship, and there never was. I married him because it was time. He feels more like a brother than a husband. I don't want to hurt him, and I don't want to hurt my kids. I feel so trapped. Come on, Michael Kennedy.
Wow.
46 years old.
Wow.
Well, you know what? I mean, it's unfortunate that, people would even feel trapped. But, I was listening to that, and one of the first things she said was, I don't love him like I should. And that's a red flag to me, because I'm thinking about, if you're not loving them like you should, sometimes the love that we want, we don't give. We leave the responsibility on the other person. But I believe I'm a firm believer that if you want love, you have to give the love that you want. And then we need to really define in this day and time what marriage is. People get marriage confused with affairs and one night stands and thrills and stimulations, and we compare it to what we did when we were in high school. And we really need to define marriage. According to her, a lot of people probably would love to have the marriage that you have. I know people that have real issues. Such as physical abuse, verbal abuse. The husband or can't keep a job, or financial issues, and all kind of things. I don't understand what she means by she just feels trapped.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I guess the biggest part I'm looking at in the letter, and then Tosh, you give me your feedback. She says in the letter that she never was in love with him.
She never. Right. Well,
okay, go ahead, Tosh.
And I think that's what hit me right there, that particular topic, because as I'm listening to what you're saying, I think she has to go back and examine the root of why she married that individual. And I know there's a lot of marriages out there.
She said because it was time.
Because it's time. And a lot of, I just had this conversation with somebody today that's amazing. But I think that's the problem. A lot of people get married for the wrong reason, because they either are trying to be rescued from something, or their flesh is at a place of wanting it to be fulfilled. But then once that satisfaction or that season is gone, now what are you relying on? And I think that's the thing. But listening to that particular statement, that, like I said, that hit me the most, because she's going to have to go back and really examine and find within her soul to find out what was the reason why she married that individual in the first place. Now, we all know divorce is not the answer, but I believe that, I think you guys had this particular topic before, and I think counseling is going to be the first priority. And if she has to go do her soul therapy herself, so she can begin to get her own healing or whatever she got to, to go through, because you can't heal everybody else until you go get your own healing first. So I think that would be my one of my answers to her problem, is her going to get her own soul therapy.
Right. I guess for me, it's like you married your husband under false pretense, because
that's right.
You deceived him. If you've never loved him, I don't know why you would have married him to begin.
Yeah,
exactly. And then to say you look at him as a brother, and you have children by this man.
That's more than a brother right there.
Yeah. And I don't.
So deception has been the focal point.
Deceived for over 20 years, marriage. And if she continued to stay each hour, each second,
she's planting those seeds in her children.
Each fragment of a second, she is deceiving her children.
Yes.
And her husband,
and herself.
And she's the only one that no, she knows this. She knows that she don't love him. She don't desire him.
But wait a minute.
But she says that she does say that he has a good job.
How do you be with somebody for 20 years? How you be with somebody for 20 years, 2 kids, and you never love?
I think my question would be, what is her definition of love?
Yeah, what is her background? Is this what she's seen all her life? Maybe she thought, because in the letter she does say that it was time. I don't know what that means, because I would think that love and being compatible is the perfect time, I guess. I would think that you've communicated and you've discussed this, and you know this is someone.
Biological
clock was ticking. That's probably
no, that don't make it time.
And I think what you just said she didn't love him like she's supposed to. What is that supposed to? Is it based on the definition of what she's seen growing up? Right. Is it based on what she's heard from other people, what they have given, you know what I mean? Right. What if she's talked to other people about this and they've given her their advice, their feedback, but she hasn't had, that's why I said go back, she's got to do her own soul searching.
And not only that, she said if you even love him as a friend or even as a brother, you should know that he deserves better.
20 years.
You can still be his friend. You can still be
stepped
whatever.
Out on him one time. 20 years.
She said she ain't never loved him. I'm sure. That's just really my big thing.
That's got a lot to it.
I think at the end of the day, to eliminate and alleviate all the drama, I think it's best to let him know first how you feel and see how the approach is from there, because he probably feeling the same way you feel.
How I feel if you tell me after 20
well,
years.
You'll be amazed. He may feel the same way. He may feel the same way because in you've been married to somebody for 20 years. It's no way that you can fake that there's no passion. Yeah. Either he's probably waiting, because I'm going to tell you one thing that I do know, and this is not to lash women. A lot of women marry for, like you say, my biological clock is ticking, and a lot of women marry because of security. I believe that if a man marry you, he gotta love you, because in statistics shows that most men lose in half of marriages when they divorce. Women get a lot of stuff that they didn't come in with, and men wind up losing. So she could be, he probably just it's cheaper to keep her. I ain't gonna say nothing, she don't say nothing, I'ma still do what I want to do and come home and I don't care.
Perception could have been wrong. She could have had a different perception when she said I do, and it didn't pan out the way she felt it should. And that with that's called self-centeredness. Yeah. And that means you didn't die to yourself. You get what I'm saying? Like you died for your own selfish reasons instead of dying to this marriage, dying to saying, I do. I'm willing to sacrifice some things for the sake of this marriage or for the sake of this union. But I think the main thing is communication, and I think that would be my main question to her. Are you communicating?
And then, a lot of people get caught up with the idea of marriage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of being into the person that they're marrying, they get caught up with the idea of marriage. You're supposed to do this because you my husband. You're supposed to do this because you my wife. You know, that's just a position. I mean, who are you?
Marriage is a team.
It's team, and it's the for me, I know for sure. If I get married, it's all about communication.
Yes,
that's right.
Communication is to me. It stands on top of love. They say, what does love have to do? It got everything to do with it, if you ask me. Because love is what makes you communicate. It's what makes you try. Now, I don't think that love is the only thing you need. I think that communication helps, because if I tell you there's a problem, you can't say you don't know.
That's right.
And if you know, we can fix the problem. So I think that's the biggest thing here with the person that wrote the letter, the anonymous
20 years.
Is that you need to communicate. You need to communicate this to your husband, and not necessarily having to bring your children into it, because I don't know their ages. They may not even understand it at this time. But you definitely need to sit down and have a heart-to-heart talk with your husband. And if you all have a pastor, then you may need to.
They better talk with somebody there, cause
counsel.
Once he find
that's
out,
a long time.
You know what?
That's a long time.
I know what I've done.
Well, that was good. Thank you for that letter, anonymous person. I hope that we were able to help in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And I hope that you find what it is that you need. A lot of times, I'm going to say this before we move on. Do not always assume that the grass is green on the other side. I know sometimes you'll be amazed because it actually is green on the other side. But sometimes you'll find out, had you tended to your own lawn, you would not have been in that situation in the first place. Some lawns just need tending to. 20 years is a long time to be miserable. Time you get back. Seek wise counsel. That's from Petite Butler, who is following me on Periscope.
Wise
that
counsel.
Is the born truth.
Multitude of counsel. There's safety. I agree.
Safety. That's good. That was good.
Make sure he a cop. too. Yeah, make sure he because you know you're gonna need some protection.
No, you ain't got that kind. You ain't been with somebody for over 20 years, and I don't think they may hurt
20 years,
you. Y'all
you tell me you don't love me, girl. Something about to go down up in here.
No, don't do that. I hope your husband don't do that. But look, we have a great topic that we are about to embark on. I need y'all to come back, stay tuned, because this topic here is about to set off a entire new atmosphere around here at Intellectual Radio.
Set it off.
So make sure if you haven't tuned in, told your friends or gotten on Facebook, you need to get on there right now. If you are waiting for a certain particular time to get on and do whatever, this is the time right now to be on IntellectualRadio.com. And if you're following me on Periscope, Instagram, Facebook, please right now give me your feedback. I need your feedback. If not, then you stay tuned so you can hear this hot topic that's about to be talked about when we get back from this break. We are Milk and Honey right here on Intellectual Radio, and we'll be right back after this short break.
Be back.
For tuning in to Milk and Honey right here on IntellectualRadio.com. We just got finished reading one of the anonymous letters for Dear Sister T. Once again, if you do have a letter that you want read and you want some advice, feedback, or you just want to know how other people feel about whatever decision you're going to make, feel free to inbox me your letter, Dear Sister T letter. I'll be very excited to read it on the air. On my Facebook, Tashika L. Benson or Tashika Second Page Benson. You can also inbox Michael Kennedy, Tasha Collins, or Nafisha Miller. We'll be glad to read your feedback, your comments online so you can hear them live right here on IntellectualRadio.com. Now we're going into our segment where we have our hot topic. Our hot topic today is about Empire, one of the hottest television shows on television. The hottest television shows right now on Fox is Empire. It tears my Facebook timeline up. People watching it and putting their feedback. So I wanted to talk about that today. And the question is, do you think the show Empire is setting a negative or positive image for our youth, especially our young men? This is the show Empire. So I'm going to start off with Tasha. Give me your feedback on Empire.
It's amazing that this topic is being spoke about today, because I actually had an incident. Let me give you my situation. For those of us that don't get to watch it, we tape it. You know, we get to see it. So I'm gonna be very, very transparent. This past season, I'm giving you the natural response. This season has been very blah to me, very bland. I think it's from the first episode to the second the first season to the second season, it has transitioned. He said no ums. Okay, praise God, no ums. But listen, I sat down with my children. I was about to watch it, and for some strange reason, I felt the need to turn. Because I normally used to watch it, but I felt the need to turn because for some reason I thought about my children first and foremost. I thought them sitting here and me as a mother being an example or a person that is feeding them this negativity or giving permission to do this. And I immediately turned. So for you to bring up this topic, I think that it lies on the parents. This particular thing, and I can't say age group, because I believe, yes, I know that a lot of children are going to be subject to so much stuff that is going on in our society right now, but we don't have to be partakers of the development of our children when it comes to the negativity that is being portrayed. I would say Empire was I just think that it's becoming very, 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 very negative to the point that it's bringing about a sense of negative taste in my mouth for me per se. And I can bring up this scripture that came to me, and I don't know if you guys bring up scriptures, but it came to me. But it says, "Children are a heritage from the Lord, the fruit of your womb, and a reward to you." So I feel like, if I'm giving this show the permission to train and teach my children and impart into my children, then what does that say about me as a parent, that my child is being an example of me as a parent when I'm allowing shows like this and other shows raise my kids and train my children? So to answer that question, I don't think it's just Empire. I think it's a lot of shows that have lost moral standard and moral values when it comes to us as a human society, African Americans. Yes, they're portraying something that is human. Right. Because this is reality. Right. This is out here. It's not fake what they putting out here. It may be fake when it comes to acting, but the reality is this is what's going on in our society. But as a parent, I should not allow my children to be raised by this, and I should be held accountable how my children act when it comes to the things I allow into their soul and their spirits.
Okay. We have some feedback from my Facebook. I'm going to read a few of them. Lady Lunchabelle, she said, "I stopped watching it. My son will not see that mess." Casey May say, "My kids are not allowed to watch, period." And let me see who else. Anquinetta, she says, "My kids couldn't watch it for the first season, and they definitely can't now. It could cause lots of confusion in their undeveloped minds. It's too much for kids at my boy's age. They already know more than I know they know. No way." Then Monet Turner said, "Yes, that's why I don't watch it." Raphael, he said, "I don't watch it, but from reading almost every post about it, my answer is negative." I'm going to read one more, and then I'm going to get some feedback from Kennedy. Shauna Monique Newton She said, I stopped watching it as well. I personally feel uncomfortable when I watch it and feel some kind of way after it goes off. It's negative for me. So I must remain positive. Therefore, I can't associate myself around that kind of behavior. It can become addictive only if you allow it to. Scripture reference come to mind, Romans 12:1 and 2. I would pin on verses 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. I must admit, the last time I watched it, I saw heads of snakes. Please do not judge me. Just being honest. That's my personal opinion. Okay, Mike?
Heads of snakes. Whew. My.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that I definitely think that kids should not be exposed to that. I mean, and I understand it's entertainment. And then I like the comments that they were making, that how they felt about it, but at the same time, they was not watching it. And television is geared towards what we watch. If enough people stop watching it, they have to remove it from the air. But the truth is, people are watching it, and
we're entertaining it.
That's why it's on the air. But to answer your question, I do feel that the images are not. There's not, to me. I mean, not just men. It's not really one wholesome character on Empire. And it maybe they're trying to portray the reality of the music business and what it takes to get in and to be successful, that you have to compromise yourself. And I personally don't believe that, but that is what it's portraying. So I think as an adult, you have to be able to gauge what it is you're watching, or the old folks used to say, eat the fish and spit out the bone. And I think anything you have to be careful, anything that you allow in your senses, that it don't govern your conscious mind. And I hear some people talk about it as if it's not even a TV show. They talk like it's real characters. I mean, Lucius, they got t-shirts now, called Free Lucius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus
Christ. They look at it as, but these are created fictional characters to entertain your just to entertain your, as my mother would say, your fleshly body. Your fleshly mindset, and you have to look at it like that it's really just a TV show. But I really do long to see more images, because I'm a black male. I long to see more images of good black, men. And I think there's a few that's coming on television now. But that is the thing. I mean, that's my thing. That's how I feel.
Okay, well, that's good. Okay, we have a caller. And for those that want to call in, is that the number? You would call 708-223-8953. Only for about 15 minutes. I don't want to flood the lines, because we have another show after hours, and we don't want to flood the lines. So I'm going to give 15 minutes for you to call in and give us your comments, your feedback, and refrain from being rude, negative, and for being obscene. We want to make this very intellectual. This is Intellectual Radio, and this is Milk and Honey Show, and we want to make sure that everything that we say is positive and in love and in great taste, even if you do judge. The Bible says, judge ye righteously. So once again, you can call 708-223-8953. And we have somebody that has some feedback. Go ahead, caller. Tell me your name.
Hi, my name is Lila.
Lila, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Chicago.
Okay, give us
Lila.
your feedback,
How are you?
Lila.
I'm sorry, can you hear what you say?
Okay, you can give us your feedback.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't understand. I was saying that you can give your feedback. You're online.
I think that there's just a lot going on with the TV show. I think the intentions are well, but the writing and the subject content on the show is not suited for youth. Even if it is a depiction of what happens in the music industry, I understand that aspect of it, but some of the subjects are very sensitive, and it's just kind of just a bad taste, you know. I think they can do better with the platform that Lee Daniels has been given, but as far as the way that they portray the characters, especially when it comes to the women are just disposable, except for Cookie and I believe the girl that plays Becky. But all the women are disposable. The men are just ridiculous. You know, there's always a problem. You don't just see, just positive. Much.
Wow. Well, I thank you for your feedback. I really appreciate it. Thank you, caller from Chicago. Would you say your name was Lila?
Okay, what'd you say?
Your name Lila?
Yes.
Okay, Lila, we thank you for your feedback, okay? Thanks for calling in. Tune in every Thursday from 4 to 5, Intellectual Radio.
So how do you like Cookie's character?
Actually, I haven't seen Empire. Yeah. I haven't actually, if I'm not gonna say that I wouldn't have watched it, but we've been in rehearsal, so I haven't seen it. But the one thing I would say is someone put a video out and it kind of enlightened what I did think. I think that you have powerful men and women, and it shows kind of a negative side. I think that if he maybe even the plane, because even when you see the shows that for our era, when we had Bill Cosby, the Cosby Show, Felicia and we had Good Times, and we had the Jeffersons, and if I was to just kind of go between this, in the Jeffersons you had George, who started at the bottom and now he at the top. And then even on Good Times, at the end of the episode, they left the ghetto as a family, as a unit. And even on the Cosby Show, they were you could say silver spoon in their mouth, but they were taught
it was all
values, and it was about family, and they work
and a different world.
School, so it's a different world. Same thing about school. And then you had even Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That was a very well home, but they wasn't. You were spoiled to having goods, but it was a family structure program. So I mean, maybe if Lee Daniels maybe considered to incorporate, to show a little family, a little love, a little positivity, because it's negative in everything. I mean, if you looked at Good Times, nobody really wanted to stay in the ghetto and thought James was, he's such a mean guy. And every show didn't have the most positive things, but the outcome in every show always came out pretty good. And I think that's what's happening here. You have Lucius, who very bright-minded and has the money, but now look at him, he in jail. And then you have Cookie out of jail, and they have her kind of portraying like the ratchet, smart mouth. And then they have the oldest son who she said Family Matters, Petite. Yeah, Family Matters was another one. But then you have the older son who's very intellectual, but he don't have the talent. And then what's helping him a lot is he's married to a white girl. Then you have the younger one who got the talent, but he's hot-headed. Then you have the one that has it all, and he's gay. And he's the one that's going to run the empire. So I think that's the biggest thing with a lot of people, and a lot of people are looking at it biblical senses. That means that they're gonna take over. But I think that's why people look at it in that way. They're not looking. Some people aren't looking at it as entertainment, but at the end of the day, you got to kind of look at it both ways. And I'm gonna read a few more of these comments, and we're gonna then I'm gonna let Yeah, I finished saying what y'all were saying. Okay. Tony, wait a minute. Fred Du Bois. He said it does have an influential message to someone ignorant of feelings, wants, and desires. But if we look at it as entertainment and nothing more, we'll be all right. The message being taken into context is that of many. Though the show tells the truth of the music business in general, young men take a positive look as well as receive a positive music message, not just from Empire, but other sources as well. After all, it is TV entertainment.
Right.
Tony Trotter says, my personal opinion is that it's entertainment and it should be viewed as such. It is a look behind the scenes of the music industry. But my other opinion is, why is Empire always chosen to be picked on or held to a higher standard? We have all these reality shows coming out weekly, and their messages are far worse than anything I've ever seen. I've seen fights, womanizing, pimping, gay relationships, cheating, gay cheerleaders, lesbian relationships, threesomes, backstabbing, divorce, etc. But yet Empire is held to a standard that no other show is, and is the only one that I hear that is being the focus on the youth. And that's not right. And I'm just going to say to Tony, and I did type this in, I think it's just because Empire is just a popular show.
And they're number one. They are number one.
Yeah. I don't think it's that they just picking with Empire, but it is one of the hottest shows. And Brian Williams, he said all these people that's talking about it being negative is ridiculous. It's the music industry and it's a grimy business. Wake up. You should teach your children, not the TV. I agree with that. So we're up and down because, like I say, you're looking at it and saying what it's showing, and then you have people that say it's TV, it's entertainment. That's not the only thing that's bad.
Right, it is TV and it is entertainment, and the thing is, it's drawing the attention that it's drawn because it is number one. So because it's number one, it's also influential. You see what I'm saying? It influences, and to me, there are people, that hardly can't determine reality from TV. Some people, TV is reality to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? It is reality to them, and they don't see nothing else but what is that. So now you have women out there trying to dress like Cookie. They're trying to use her sayings, and they're trying to be sassy like her, and they applaud that. They applaud that sassiness. But I think the story that's being missed by that is her background. And they portray her as somebody that had a hard life, that went to jail. She had to do what she had to do to survive. She became street smart. And a lot of us that want to be like that don't even know anything about that type of lifestyle. We didn't grow up that. We're not real. We just like the fluff of it. It's kind of like the kid that grew up in the suburbs, but he wanted to be a rapper. And now he's rapping about guns and drugs and ain't sold a bag or don't know what a dime bag is or nothing. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about it. It becomes influential, and I think that's what is causing the heat. But it's really just entertainment.
But I think what sticks to me is the depiction of us as African Americans. And I think what has happened is, this is another writer, which I respect him because I respect his creativity, his gift. It's a gift. But what you use it for is the problem of what we're judging. And I think that seeing a lot of African Americans depict manipulation and deception as means to become successful is not what we want to portray to our kids or train our kids in reference to. And that's one of the reasons why I wouldn't want my children to succumb to the negativity of that, because I believe that there are so many positive African Americans that are out there. Why can't we represent that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yes, I did.
Because people might not watch it.
They may, but that's the thing.
Not, but go ahead.
They may not, and you're absolutely right, because we're feeding into the society of what our society is longing. But I believe it takes one person to change the mindset of an individual. And the thing about it is, it's all about money. Let's keep it real. It's all about money. Whatever sells, I'm gonna make money off of it. And right now, African Americans are being made money.
Yeah, and the thing, and at the end of the day, like the one thing Tony Trotter said about that not being the only show, it seems that you can barely watch TV and stray away from it. It's on almost everything. It's they've even started where you used to not can curse, and it was barely kissing on TV. You know, they used to, when you get to the mouth, the screen go out. And you know, because television, you could watch it, and then it was a time when television went off, and you saw those lines. That mean everybody go to bed. It was the time.
And they cussing and stuff.
And now they are saying big words, not those little ones. They saying big words, and they ain't beeping them, bleeping you out. And I think we're being portrayed so badly. I think that's the bad thing, is that black people are being portrayed in such a way. And it's bad enough that in real life we're dealing with seeing the news every day, and that's real life. News, you're seeing your brothers killing some other brothers. You're seeing us being gunned down by police. So it would be uplifting to see the Cosby Show. It would be so uplifting.
Or to win an award.
Now that I'm telling you, that was very good for me to see her win.
Why do I want to win an award based on me having a negative stereotype against my own people, and then I applaud it? I'm sorry, it goes deeper than just the empire. It goes deeper than that. So I think this is the surface of it, but I think if we really, really had a conversation, this is stemmed from now us black on black crime. That's really what it is. You know, you just said it. We're killing each other on the streets, and now we have our own depicting us in a negative form.
In a negative form. And
just to add that, I really hate shows. I don't want to say hate, but I really hate to see different shows that causes us to be against each other. You know, division. And I feel like as a race, we're snared by our own perception of ourselves, that we can't be successful. We can't be, I'm not so sure, but you think about it, every successful black person that you could just about think of, somebody has snared them or persecuted them, or said something negative. And let me tell you, it's most of the time it seems like it's other black people. That really is what bothers me. I mean, whether Bill Cosby did what he did or not, the person that was used to bring him down or expose it was another black person. And I've been seeing it. I remember when I was a kid, I remember Justice Clarence Thomas, when he was running for Supreme Court, and they used a black woman to come against him so he couldn't get that, seat. And I remember seeing that, thinking like that's what we do. And not
that's
just,
good. But that's the truth, and that's how it is. Yeah. Because I even made mention about that with when Barack Obama became president. A lot of people were looking for hookups and handouts. They said, when he made the chanting statement, what did he say? We can be the change, or something. Change is coming. So people automatically thought for them that, oh man, we could sit back but they didn't. They never thought that it starts within your own camp. Because see, my thing is, if I worked for a company and I knew that the boss was my friend, that would make me work harder so I could show him I'm indebted to you. A lot of people, they say, oh, I ain't got to do that because that's my boy, he the boss. But you shouldn't feel like that. You should feel now even more responsible to work harder so you won't let your friend down. And that's how we should be about the president. Now one of our own is in there, we should work harder to help him But instead,
and we're harder on him.
Our very own went against him and said he's done this and he's done, and then so many people they talk about he didn't do this and he didn't do that, and when he got in he should have done this, and it's like he has a commercial where he has a very big cookie about this size. It's a big cookie. It's just say you got a small teacup. And he's trying to dunk it into that milk, and the cookie never gets in there. And he said, "Thanks, Obama."
Right.
And the purpose of the commercial, the point of it was, you expect him to fix everything. And when it don't work, the first thing you say is, "Thanks, Obama." You have to remember, it's only so much one person can do, and we have to get out of the frame of mind to say, we ain't got enough time for that. We ain't got enough time. You got the same amount of time that Dr. King had. Dr. King had 24 hours. Barack Obama had 24 hours. And you got 24 hours. Yeah. Everybody got the same time. I don't care if it's night over there and day over there. Yeah. They still have the same time frame. Everybody got 24 hours in a day to make whatever change happen.
And I think that goes back to what your topic is, empire. Showing that I'm going to do whatever's necessary.
Whatever necessary. I can make this work. I don't have to succumb to.
I don't have to, but what's being shown is I'm going to cut your throat to get to the top.
Well, Tasha, you know, my one of my main slogans have always been, I will not compromise integrity for popularity.
That's right.
I'm going to say that again. I will not compromise my integrity.
Somebody crank up the organ.
For popularity. Because if God's grace got me there, that's what's going to keep me there. Now, if you're fine doing what you're doing and nothing is keeping you up at night, nothing is bothering you, your conscience, and like Johnny Taylor say, if my conscience don't bother me, I ain't gonna bother it. If you fine with it, do what it is that make you happy. I wouldn't do it, but I'm not you. Do what it is that makes you happy, because your soul at the end of the day is what has to be pleased, not what I say. But this is just enlightenment, because sometimes I read some things and may have some thoughts and say, wow, that comment just helped me, or that thought. So something may have been said that just brought enlightenment, not changing your mind, but just making everybody aware of certain things. Some people have never seen Empire, and some people don't watch it because of what they've heard. Some people want to watch it because of what they heard. So it's nothing like giving insight, feedback positively. And that's why we're doing this topic today. Not to bash Lee Daniels. It's hard enough being black. So I wouldn't dare get on here and say, oh, let's boycott him and don't watch. I'm not never saying that. I'm not telling nobody to go and ban Fox. Not saying that. I'm just giving my own insight, my own personal views. And I've enjoyed all of your personal views. The ones that say, no, ain't nothing wrong with it. It's just entertainment. It's just entertainment.
But, you know, it's like this, you know, when Denzel Washington got an Oscar, Halle Berry got an Oscar, and that's something we should be proud of. But what did they get an Oscar for? You see what I'm saying? I want us to be number one, but I want us to be proud. I want to be proud of the work, of the reason why we're number one. You see what I'm saying? And that's I think that is the thing, is that, you know, because it's definitely good writing, it's definitely good entertainment. Otherwise, so many people wouldn't even be watching it. So the talent is there. So we're not taking away from the talent, you know. But at the end of the day, the message. And then, you know, it's not over. We don't know what Empire going to end.
Never. You don't know.
You don't know.
That's what I said. That's why I say you don't want to talk down and you don't want to speak ill on people, because God He's working on everybody. We're all work in progress. So I know for sure that He may be somewhere and say, just what if Lee Daniels listening in on this? Somebody probably called him and say, hey man, turn to IntellectualRadio.com. Listen to this live show, Milk and Honey. They talking about you.
If he
he may say, you know what?
Part on the show, man.
I'm going to start putting a positive image on here. I'm going to start
You never know.
Showing a family that can love, not dysfunctional, because we got enough of that. We got enough divorced black families. We got enough children that's running wild. Show some love. We need it. Somebody said, got off work late. Sorry. Hey, family. That's Erica. We're talking about Empire. She said she
I always
tuned
say,
in a little late.
If you've been given a platform, use it to build up and to edify.
Right.
If you've been given a platform, and I agree totally what you're saying, but I would say, I think if Lee Daniels called in, I would say you've been given a blessing to represent us well. Do the best you can.
Do the best. And that's my hope for him, that he do the best that he can do.
Can I get a short little part on the show?
Mike Kennedy say he want to be a extra, not a die-off extra. Right. He don't want to die off.
I want to be able to say 2 words like "come here," "go there," or something.
Okay, Mike Kennedy.
Wow, really?
Shameless plugs. Wow, for Empire. Look, this has been a great topic. Yeah. Erica say she want to be an extra too. Me too. Me too. This has been very enlightening, and I like having topics like this, and that it's not, nobody's getting beat up over the head for the choices that we make, because I gotta wake up every day and go to bed every night, and wake up every day and go to bed every night with my own conscience, wondering if I did it right or if some things I need to fix. And I pray that if I did wrong, that God will reveal it to me and that I'm able to fix up what I messed up. And everybody living, we can all say that we've made it to that place where we can say, God, work on me. And that's everybody, not just this panel, not just you at home, not those that are having their own problems and judging it or saying, oh, I don't like it, I did like it, I don't like it no more. We all need God to do some work on us. So pray for Lee Daniels. I believe that, and I'm just speaking it whether it happens or not, I'm just speaking that Empire is going to take a dramatic turn. It's going to take a dramatic turn for the good. I believe that. I believe good is coming from this. I don't know where, I don't know how, but I believe good is going to come from Empire. Lee Daniels is a very talented young man. I'm keeping him uplifted. Look, we've ran out of time. I've enjoyed everybody. I've enjoyed this topic. I enjoyed the letter. And look, remember, we are here every Thursday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. And my saying, as I always say, I love you all. And if you don't love me, you better not die. We here at Milk and Honey enjoyed it right here on IntellectualRadio.com.